Just 2 weeks to go until the Olympics, but the organisers have been forced into a firefight on a number of fronts. Long queues at Heathrow, the main motorway into London closed, and now the Army is being forced to cover a shortfall in security staff. Well, joining me here in Westminster are the Conservative MP Patrick Mercer, who's just published a report on aspects of security for the Olympics, and Lee Smith, who's the Managing Director of Utopia, which specialises in event security. And Lee Smith, what has gone wrong? I mean, G4S have known for a long time that they're going to have this task. How could it come about that you suddenly say, well, we're short 3,500 people?
I think the first problem was the London Organisation Committee estimated 10,000 personnel were required. And in December, they then changed that to 24,000 personnel. First of all, that's incompetence right there. And then you've got Group 4 Security, who up until now haven't been able to fulfil the commitments. I don't understand why they haven't tried to pull resources from local companies that can provide these services. If, for example, we got a phone call today or tomorrow asking us for several thousand ex-military, ex-police security personnel, we could provide them very easily.
I mean, there's a suggestion that perhaps this is really all about money, that they wanted to hire people or train them at the last possible moment to have them on the payroll for the shortest possible period.
I think that's exactly the problem. It's down to money and greed. Instead of pooling resources from local security firms that are in London, it's the London Olympics. I don't know why they haven't used local London security firms, pulled the resources together and found the problem. So found a solution.
Instead, Patrick Mercer, they've sent for the Army. Is that the right thing to do?
Well, thank God we got an army to send for. I mean, the bitter irony of this, of course, is my old regiment, for instance. I should say, I think Lee makes some very good points, particularly having written this report and published it yesterday. But my old regiment, just back from Afghanistan, just been told that before they go on their Afghan leave, that many of them are not likely to be made redundant, and now told that their summer will be spent actually protecting the Olympic tennis at Wimbledon. Now, they'll do it, and they'll do it superbly, and they'll do it with a smile on their faces. But it isn't as it should be. It doesn't give the right impression, I think, to visitors, and it certainly doesn't give the right impression to the Army, who I think are beginning to feel a bit fragile.
Now, in these circumstances, when the Army is called in, I mean, who pays? Do the people doing the work get any extra money? I mean, how does it work?
No, of course not. I mean, this is the thing. The great thing, or the bad thing about soldiers, is they do exactly as they're told. There is no extra pay. Don't forget, of course, they've now lost all of their field allowance in Afghanistan, so there'll be no extra money for this. They will be compensated, quite rightly, of course, for any holidays that they've booked and that they're going to have to miss as a result. And I've no doubt that space will be found for them to get leave later on. But you can imagine their personal plans being absolutely thrown haywire by this. And I come back to the fact that the reason the government can snap its fingers and get a brigade's worth of troops is because we've got them.
But it's a taxpayer effectively picking up a share of the bill here.
Well, of course the taxpayer's picking up the bill. The MOD, I'm sure, will pay in the short term. How that will be recouped, whether G4S will be asked to bear part of the bill, I really don't know.
And you were saying, Lee, that you believe, without going to the Army, it would have been possible to find the right personnel in time for 2 weeks' notice.
Absolutely. Every security firm has on their books contractors ready and available when necessary. We have several thousand on our books who are ready, ex-military, ex-police, and people trained to do this particular job. There's no reason why they can't fulfil the contract that
Why hasn't this route been taken?
Well, I agree. I would absolutely endorse this, that whilst we were writing the report, it became clear to me there was plenty of material out there, plenty of employers, people like Lee, who are able to say, here, look, here are the blokes. Many of them well versed in these matters, many of them already vetted, which of course is expensive, but the pay that was being offered was just not enough of an incentive. And those who did come forward found that the logistics and the bureaucracy was overbearing.
I mean, are you worried that we're up to this? We've got the problems at Heathrow, we've got the problems on the M4, now we've got this.
Well, as I said already, thank God we've got a numerous Army, Navy and Air Force.
Well, they can't fix the motorway as well, can they?
No, they can't. But I mean, this is Plan B. I hope there's enough in the locker for Plan C and Plan D, because of course there'll be mistakes, and of course things will go wrong. It's an extremely difficult thing. But yeah, I'm convinced. I would say to a visitor, yes, I think the games are secure, but of course resources are always scarce.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.